Thank you very much. I was looking at everyone's mouth and wondering who knew the words of the national anthem. So we're going to kick off with a small quiz, and I have a gift for whoever can successfully do this. I want someone to indicate that they can sing the 2 stanzas of our national anthem. Show of hands. You know the words to the 2 stanzas of our national anthem. I see Mrs. Akpabio. So, you are on the spot.
I think before I sing, I always like the concluding part of that song. So I think I will say that first before I start from the beginning. I love the one that says, to build the nation where peace and justice shall reign. So it says, who will join me? O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide down our leaders right. Wow. Help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and live in justice and truth. Great lofty high attempt to build the nation where peace and justice shall reign. In fact, is not the solution of the problem in Nigeria entirely. Thank you. Wow. A round of applause for Mrs. Akpabio. And here's a gift for you from Nigerians 5. That is a challenge to every one of us to know the words of our national anthem. Because honestly, like she said, that's the solution. We are here tonight to have what my colleague in Nigerian Spice, who's going to be the moderator of tonight's discussion, we're here to have what she likes to call a family meeting. I recognize the presence of Apostle Dave. Thank you for coming. A family meeting has everyone in it. And I'm glad to see we've got people from the north, we've got people from the south, Mr. Fabio, we've got people from the east, we've got people from the west. I mean, it's a real family meeting. So I thank everyone. Nigerian Spice is an organization. On our website, it says we're not just an organization. It's all about, showcasing the best of Nigeria, telling our stories. Too many wrong stories have been told about it, and we have all just kept quiet. And somehow, we all became victims of the wrong stories. And because we became victims, everybody just started hiding, quietly doing their things on the ground. I was shocked to discover that there are, I generally tease my northern friends and say they don't travel out. The people that travel out the most, the price of those who travel out is our Eastern brothers and sisters. They travel out, the Easterners can travel. And closely followed by the Southwesterners. When you find Igbo people, you find Yoruba people. Then the others don't really travel. So I wasn't even sure, I didn't even think there were Northerners here. Only for me to discover my brother Ali over there who is speaking of Suya. So we're going to have authentic Nigerian Suya tonight. So we are a flavorful people, and we need to start telling our own stories our way. We need to start letting everyone know that we are assets and we are not an embarrassment. We shouldn't be ashamed of who we are, but we need to be the right things for us not to find ourselves in positions where we will be embarrassed. So that's what Nigerian Spice is all about. To make sure that the right stories are told about us, and when there are issues that is making the wrong stories being told, we will try and speak to each other and correct it. After all, when you see your brother doing wrong, you say, don't do this now. You correct your brother. So that's what Nigerian Spice is about. And we are all part of that story. So I thank everyone for being here. I want to call up Dr. Anne Joa to come and kick off this conversation. She likes to moderate family meetings as per the elder big sister that she is in her own family. Let's welcome Dr. Anne.
Thank you, my friend and sister. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. I don't like dull bodies, so please do me a favor. If you like my face, get excited. Please, get excited. Clap when you have to clap. Jump if you have to jump. Barrister, you are backing me. It doesn't look like you are comfortable. Barrister, you are backing me. I don't like it. I want to see your face, Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, stand for yourselves once again. I'll tell you why you are clapping. Some time ago, Anima decided to have a family meeting like we are having tonight. So they called all Anima, small and great, to attend this meeting. And everybody was dressed, the ants, the infinitesimal ones, the big ones, and all they were dressed for this meeting. But the chicken said was too busy to attend. Like a lot of Nigerians are busy tonight. They were given the invitation to here, but they are not here. So he said, let's go. He said, let's go. He said, no, just go. I'm too busy. Whatever you guys decide, I'm okay with it. So, okay, they went for the meeting and all the animals decided that henceforth if there's going to be any sacrifice, the chicken will be used. And they came and gave the message to the chicken. Chicken was like, how did you decide that? How did you use it for? So they to say whatever is decided, we are okay with it. So that was the decision. So the fact that you are here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you have an opportunity to speak your mind. Nobody is going to decide and say, henceforth, the people from the north, they will be used for certain things, and you say you don't agree. Because you are here, you speak for your region, you speak for yourself, you speak as a Nigerian. So for that reason, clap for yourself again, because you are not cheating. Thank you very much. And Dr. Bimu was talking, she said something like, we are going to tell our own story. The great writer, the late Chinua Achebe, said something. He said, until the lions have their own historians, the story of the hunter will only be told by the hunted, or is it the other way around? So Nigerians, we've decided that we'll tell our own stories by ourselves. We're not going to wait for people to tell who we are, tell us who we are. Sometimes when you hear things about a Nigerian, you start wondering, am I really a Nigerian? Or are they talking about somebody else? So what Nigerian Spice is trying to do is to give us a chance to tell our story. Is to give us a chance to rebrand ourselves. That's what Nigerian Spice is all about. I'm going to do a demonstration much later into the discussion so that you will understand in clear terms what we are trying to do. Thank you very much. So tonight is a discussion. Thank you very much for those who were there at a very inaugural meeting that we had, the first family meeting. Like she said, I call anytime Nigerian Spice gather people together, family meeting. It's a family meeting, so we are all one. So speak your mind. Like I tell my children, speak your mind. So tonight, speak your mind. But before we go straight into the discussion tonight, I would like to make some few, just some few house rules. Something happened the last time, I don't want it to happen this time. If you are given the floor, you are given once. We want to maximize the night, and we want to also give everybody the opportunity to speak. So if you are given a chance, please exhaust it. And a meeting like this that we have is such that if I speak, you want to take me on what I've just said. So you want to talk on what I talk on. So please, let's not do that. If you've spoken before and you raise your hand and I don't call you, don't take it personal. Are we together? Do you agree with me? Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to have only one person speaking. So everyone will have equal chance. So if there's something you left unsaid when you had your first chance, don't ask to be called again. Just tell the next person, please, if you're given an opportunity, say this on my behalf. Is that okay? Is that fine? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, is that fine? Yes. You must impress me tonight by following me. You must follow me. I want to have a lot of followers tonight. Although I'm not on Twitter, but please follow me for tonight. Thank you very much. Tonight, the discussion is multilateral discussions in achieving a strong force as Nigerians in diaspora. What do you mean by Nigerians in diaspora? Tonight is going to be a Q&A. I can spot you on and ask you questions. Please don't be offended. Even if you are older than me, because I'm standing here, I think I'm the oldest tonight. Thank you. All right. So Nigerians in diaspora, do we really understand what is diaspora? Who can explain very briefly what diaspora is before we begin our conversation? Anybody? Who is bold? Yeah. Bold and beautiful? Only the two people who have been here this evening. What about others now? Okay, thank you, Doc. Zulika, please. Where is Zulika?
I'm going to be a bit technical in explaining what diaspora is, because it is a conjunction of two words. Diaspora means like throwing, dispersing seeds. Thank you so much. dispersing seeds. So when you say diaspora, it means seeds are being thrown to germinate in other areas. So we diasporans are actually all over to be able to germinate and mix with other culture and contribute and progress both home where we left to be thrown into another place and the host country. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Do we agree? Do we agree? Do we agree, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. There's another big word there. Remember, when I anchor, I like to break down the words into chewable by bits so that we can understand what we are talking about. Multilateral. Very nice word. Multilateral. Who can break this down for me? Remember, we are discussing. That's why we don't have panelists today. So there's no pressure on anyone. Just feel free from where you are seated. We'll come and meet you if you don't want to stand up. Yes, multilateral. English language class. Anybody? Anyone? We are not leaving here until somebody explains multilateral. We have professors here, we have doctors, multilateral. If you want to Google, you are free to do that. It's an open book, multilateral. Yes, Prof.
Thank you. Multilateralism. Multilateral is a word that simply explains more than one corporation. And when you want to create a platform for a discussion, you don't want to do it alone. When you have what is called bilateral, it means you are having a two-edged relationship. But when you have multilateral, it means a discussion platform that is more than two. So in a simple term, I am thinking that what Nigerian spies want is to bring different stakeholders together. That is more than two. I remember during the last discussion you had, we were told that we have over 20 Nigerian associations. And coming together is actually a discussion with multilateral. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, when you have professors in the house, you always have that kind of level of breaking that. But I hope you understand what we're talking about. Multilateral discussion. We started discussing. Now, the topic is how do we achieve a strong force as Nigerians in diaspora? How do we achieve the strong force? Like I said in our last meeting, we noticed that we have so many associations, and that puts us in a disorganized sphere as Nigerians in South Africa. Looks like we are not together. And that's why I would like to point out that Nigerian Science is not part of this association. We are not an association. So we don't plan to split tomorrow because to me it decides to be president and I just want to start the president for that. I'm forming my own association away from Nigerian side. We are not an association. We are an organization that is aimed at doing something that we want to do. We want to change the narratives about Nigerians. We want to change the world perspective. We want to change how people look at us. When you hold your green passport, you are asked to stay at a certain special place, but you have to tonight you have to look at you differently. So Nigerians guys want to change that thinking globally, not just in South Africa. Then like they say, every doctor begins with a step. So that step so that the example, we're going to go outside South Africa to see what we can do, change the mindset, how people live, how people view Nigeria. So ladies and gentlemen, we go straight into the conversation. How do we achieve the strong force as Nigerians in diaspora? Ah, anybody has anything to say? Please participate. Participate. Don't be chicken. Don't be chicken tonight. Say your mind. Nobody's in fact, nobody's going to judge anything you say. Stay here. Don't worry. If anybody comes to you to go be responsible. Yes. Because I'm not back in the door. He's here. That is my experience. That is like if I say anything that you relate, just give me an eye. Few points. Thank you. How do you think you can achieve a strong force? Anybody in the audience want to say something? Anybody? I will start calling you. You know how it is in class when you don't want to talk. Then the teacher will now call you and call you to the front of the class. So I will call them. I see Honorable Sago, Mataya Sago, yeah, all the way from Victoria. I think he has something. Please, you just start by introducing yourself very briefly. If possible, sometimes what you do, what yeah, so just want to know, yeah, so that people
The last 12 months, I see you. Okay.
yes, we discussion tonight is multilateral discussion on achieving strong force as Nigerians in diaspora. So my first question tonight is, what do you think we can do to achieve that strong force as Nigerians in diaspora? Unfortunately, I think we are not at our community. We all agreed that we are not together, and that's why we have so many associations doing the same thing, the same vision, the same mission. And we thought that's not good enough. That doesn't speak well of us as Nigerians. So we want to put together. So tonight our focus is, what do you think we can do to achieve that?
That's it. One of the problems, everybody wants to go together. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to be a leader. But at the same time, we all cannot be leaders. Except if we are supposed to one thing. Accepting that we all came from different backgrounds, we make it something like that. One of the reasons why we have failed is not of one, too much of pride. You will see someone that calls himself the leader of an organization. When you try to correct him or her over an issue, you become his or her enemy. And based on that, there are some people that cannot tell you how high. If you cannot succumb to a leadership, definitely you have a problem. But we can do it because we've already been it before. Leadership has to do with you having the capacity, ability to lead, not just because you want to be a leader and you want people to recognize that you're not trying to think or be an impact over your subject. So it's basically one of the problems. But it's high time we forget about all this problem and we come together as one. It pains me when I see the Ethiopians. Okay. Like I was saying, one of the problems.
Nobody wants to be the junior worker and at the same time, see, most of the leaders have been opportunity the vital um, but, uh, see, most of the time, we all want to be. When you try to believe, like, over something, and there are some of us here that think people are going the wrong way. We tend to be poor. We tell them, I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Well, but when you tell the people the truth over something that's all, things you are definitely split. And now, until when you end out very well. For you to be a leader, doesn't mean you must be a professional. But whatever if you have the talent and then you have what it takes to lead, and you make a mistake and like take it, take such a person as someone that really works, not as if it is. Because when you try to correct somebody and oh, you think it's going wrong, you definitely can. Until when you see that, well, I'm sorry to say, as I see when I say when they say audio, it has that's for me there. But when you go to the university, I'm a university. But when it comes to somebody will be telling you, no, how dare you talk? I can't take this. I'm a leader, the president. So by doing that, some people like, okay, you are the president, I can expect you from my organization. I'll form a prayer because you are doing something that I'm trying to correct you, but you give me as a friend. Then I will go ahead. It's out of it. I can tell you, like, I don't want to mention so that I start. See, I've seen a teacher whereby who tries to commit like that, and he sees you as an enemy, then have like, okay, you can be a leader. I'm grateful for the challenge. So, if we tend to speak for that, when you are being corrected in the gathering or please do not see someone as disobeying. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the issue of leadership, ego, self-absorption, I think it's been the pivotal point. Even in our last meeting, it was something that was hammered on very seriously. Um, Leadership. Everyone wants to be on top. Everyone wants to lead. So who are we going to lead? If everybody is president, so where is the subject? I think that is the issue. It rang the bell then, it's really bell today. Thank you very much, Honorable. So he has said something. Take correction, respect other people. So who else has something to say about what we can do to achieve this front box? Dr. Bumi, you may have to put another person on the spot. If you hadn't come, he won't hear your voice. Please be with me, come with me, follow me. I'm not on Twitter, but please follow me tonight. Follow me. Anybody want to say anything? What do you think we can do to achieve the strong force? There are so many nice people on this table. I don't know what is going on. Put somebody
Yes,
else's phone.
no. In fact, there are plenty of people on sports choice now. There are plenty of people that I know one on one, they have plenty to say. So I think I will start with so the thing they do, like, you know those games that we used to play when we were small. The music is playing and you're just going around the chair. I'm sure you have this. I'm kind of worried tonight. You know why? It's like everyone is afraid to sleep. Is it because it's an open hall? You know that it was an explosion and people felt safe. Do we feel safe tonight? Yeah. Are you sure you feel safe? I'm having this feeling that people are not feeling safe, like anything can happen because it's an open. It's a town hall meeting. That's what it is.
It's town hall. Talk to us. Just invite. Tony.
My name is Triple O. Correction and a kind of job. Basically, how do I start? I think the problem we're facing now is the same problem we're facing in Japan. Anytime I have a leader call and she wants to call, and before election, there were issues which is very common in democratic setting and election cycle. And I believe with the benefits of the Supreme Court, that should have ended or rank up, and so that we can have a common goal of country to develop. But for some reasons, we have refused to keep the past and come together under this leadership and give this leadership a chance. Because the future of our country in the next 4 years is in the hand of this leader, based on the verdict of whether we like it or not. And borrowing from that speaks a lot about who we are in diaspora. We find it very hard to all agree on a common goal. It's about agenda setting. I want to set agenda. I want to set agenda. But in nation building, there can only be one agenda. If the renewed hope is the agenda for the next 4 years, I believe very strongly that the only way we can achieve meaningful development in Nigeria is if the over 200 people agree to line up behind the renewed hope agenda and bring their best possible advice, recommendation, and guide the leaders. What am I saying is that in the diaspora, we also have the same problem where we don't like to align or behind the leader. Just the same way we have that same problem in India. So it's not common with being a diaspora or but it's a common Nigerian problem where we don't see ourselves as Nigerians, rather I see myself as Yoruba. I see myself as a human. So we have Yoruba agenda, we have Igbo agenda, we have Fulani agenda, we have Hausa agenda. So what it means is that we don't have a Nigerian agenda. And that is the same problem we have in diaspora until we define what our agenda is. As Nigerians, bringing it down to this where we are in South Africa, what is that agenda that we want to hold on to as a people? Because we cannot forget the country where we are coming from. There must be a direct relation between that agenda and what we want it to have, what type of impact we want it to have on our people back home. So until we in diaspora agree on a leadership, design an agenda that is implementable, and all lining up behind that agenda, not blindly, but giving advice on how that agenda will succeed. Because we have all agreed, like we know, that that agenda can deliver the next future for us. So if we can agree in diaspora behind one leader, no matter how imperfect that leader is, all heroes and good in your books are not perfect. So no leader is perfect. We have to agree on that. But we have to agree that that agenda is what we all want to run with and help him to achieve that agenda, both here in South Africa and back home. So if we can do that, I believe that will help us solve this quagmire around leadership, this quagmire around having multiple agendas, because there must be an agenda. There's an American agenda. And if we don't agree on that agenda, we cannot agree on this agenda. But if we agree on those two basic fundamentals, I think bringing Nigeria together to pursue this agenda will be very easy.
Thank you very much. You actually. Thank you. Please, may I just request that if you are going to speak, can you just stand here? We want the camera to be able to catch you, please. Just stand here and speak. Thank you.
And this is being covered by channels too. So channels hear what you are saying.
If I hear you right, to you, We do have agenda implicitly, right? That being said, what is an agenda? What is an agenda? Because if we don't know what an agenda is, we don't even know where we are going. Like everyone is blind, we are just going there. We are going, right? So what's an agenda? Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, fellow Nigerian. I wanted to say Nigeria well. I think I had the APC chairperson, what he said. But one thing with me, I am non-partisan. I don't believe. I work with politicians, especially here in South Africa. I train politicians. I work with politicians. And I have been here for almost 30 decades. And I see the reason why politics is not good for some of us. Because of knowledge is more powerful than nothing. So the question here is, how do we clean the image of Nigeria? We have to battle. If you haven't experienced it, I have experienced it personally. We have reached to a level where if you say you're a Nigerian, everybody will run away from you until it's proven otherwise. And therefore, we need to tell ourselves the truth. It's not, I am your back, I am outside, I am Fulani. Those of us who have relationship with other countries, for example, my wife is Yoruba, my great grandfather was from the north. What do you expect somebody like me? I get frustrated when I see tribal fights in Nigeria. And that is why, in many cases, I would say, I don't want to be part of politics. But for the purpose of this deep discussion, we need to tell ourselves, we know that we have people who do bad in this country. And time has come for us to call a spade a spade. We are not going to continue to hide people who stand on the street and sell drugs. We are not going to stand to people who go into their closet and use computer to take away pension money from old South Africa, old Americans, old Australia, all over the world. So it's not just that. We are, what the question is saying is that we must point out those areas where Nigeria has fallen short. South African prisons We are not built for Nigerians. But if you go in, you find a lot of Nigerians. The same way Nigerians, we are not built for South Africa. We need to call a spade a spade. And we need to begin now. We want South African government to also know that we are doing something about it. The reason why I'm saying this is that I know what South Africans say about it. I know it, I've experienced it, and many people that are not here have also experienced it. It doesn't matter the level where you are in this country as a Nigerian, you need to work 3 times for you to prove yourself. We are tired of it. And we have a lot of children in this country that are going to face itself if we don't do something now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. If I heard you right, the problem we have back home, ethnicity. Ethnicity has divided us so much. And unfortunately, we have allowed that same ethnicity to follow us into the diaspora. When you are here, the Yorubas are against the Igbos are against the Yorubas and all that. And I can assure you that I tell you here for free that that's what Nigeria Science is formed to correct. We will do our best. We are not saying that we are the solution to it, but we want to just leave something, we want to leave a legacy that others will say, oh, there are some people who are doing what we are supposed to be doing as associations. So I want us to bear that in mind. But the question I asked, yes, I like your contribution. Thank you so much. You contributed to the topic, that's fine. But when Honorable was speaking, he said something about if we don't have an agenda as Nigerians, we will not do what we are doing. If I heard right, we don't have a pattern where we are following. That's why we are disorganized. That's why we don't even know where we are going. So, and I ask, what is an agenda? If we can understand what an agenda is, I think it's very easy for us to ease conversation to that. What is an agenda? My brother, talk to me. What's an agenda? Do you think you know what an agenda is? We are not calling people. If people will not talk, we will call you.
My name is Francis Igolaro. I'm not here to give the definition of it, but I know structure. It laid out things was like a group of people in a meeting have a general news. You see, I like the way you speak, but I also want to bring knowledge to all of us. Outside the city, we have political problems where I thought you see those are problems that is even back to this place we are here. See, we have that problem. If you say something that I'm not agreeing with, it's a problem. If I'm PDP and I'm here to tell you this and that to promote my political party, it's another problem. So for us to agree here, I think we need to be political activism and religious people so that we can build on call it the partners, relationships. So we all agree. You see, this place is not easy for us. We're happy to see doctor for us. It's quite expensive to have it. So anything that has to do with a profit making, that's not a problem. So when you say let's donate to achieve this, it is because we are here because it's free. It's free. And it's not easy for anybody to just come up here and say, let me rent this, and have all this merit, as we have waiting for us to also come. So these are things that it's not easy to, you know. So we are happy with you to have been able to have this together for us. And we will join you to work with you. We have all this ethnicity, religious, political affiliation. If we can do with all of this, I think we can join this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that contribution. So I want to find out from someone. Yes, so we made it here. Mr. Aloba said just now, if we can do away with ethnicity, do away with religious affiliation, with political party affiliation. Now, for one way to do away with those kind of things is to identify with excellence. One thing that I always taught my kids is, because one thing I was always hearing, oh, is it because I'm black? It became a joke in my family that, oh, when we don't agree, is it because I'm black? One thing I used to teach them is that excellence has no color. And I'll tell you, as a medical doctor, as a pediatrician, the majority of my clients are actually white people. Most of the babies that I look after are white babies, because they find that excellence in me, and suddenly they don't realize that I'm black. And I think that's the same thing that we need to apply to each other, to say, who is that Nigerian that has the excellence that I'm willing to follow? Whether he is an Igbo man, a Yoruba man, someone from Akwa Ibom, whatever, whether he is Northerner, who is that Nigerian that has the excellence? I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but we need to now start finding a way. And for me, that is one of the suggestions, that how do we do away with ethnicity and with religion and with political affiliation. I just want to put that out. Thank you, Doctor. I remember in our last family meeting, I'll come to you. In our last family meeting, somebody stood up and said, until we identify who in Nigeria is, we are going nowhere slow. Who is in Nigeria? If you call an American on the spot today, he knows who is in Nigeria. If you call a Briton, you know who is in Britain. Who is in Nigeria? I suppose that's where Doctor is tailoring her question today. That until we see the excellency in somebody who is in Nigeria, then we'll continue to be where we are. We'll continue to criticize one another. We'll continue to allow all kinds of bias. I'm not a Yoruba man for that reason. I'm not going to go to that occasion because it's organized by Yorubas. I'm not a Muslim, so for that reason, the Muslims are gathered, even though they are Nigerians. I'm not going. I have these people gathered here because they are PDP and the Aname PC. I'm not going there. Can we just for once gather because we are Nigerians? So we are still going to answer that question at some stage in our gathering. Who is in Nigeria? So go and start thinking who in Nigeria is. Thank you very much, Doc, for that contribution. Now, moving forward, we are still going to go to the problem. We're not saying the problems for now, but we are saying, how do we achieve a strong force as Nigerians in diaspora? I still need more contributions. Yes, thank you. People are now deciding to speak by themselves. Thank you. I didn't say the head. Okay. And then immediately I'm coming back to this. Ladies, I don't know what is going on. But Dr.
Olukalu had indicated. And I want more ladies, those fine, fine ladies sitting at the back there. I'm coming there. So start thinking. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Ladies, please support me tonight.
Brothers, sisters, my name is our brothers and sisters. My name is Olari. By nature, I think by profession, I'm a software developer. I'm trying to but it's very hard to join. There is a Yoruba man because we have matter of issue. And they said Oju kan, Oju méjì ló bímọ, ìgbà ojú ló lọ. That means it's a child being born by one parent, but it's a community that embrace of. If you ask me, I'm so vulnerable to the extent that I know you're in there, I will take on hand. I would like to, I don't know if this conversation is only one of okay. I have a voice experience because it was long. She always fight me that. Who do you want to speak if you are running away from me? And it's not because I want to do that. And it's because of experience. I was raised by disciplinary spirit. And my name, I know what is my name. In fact, I did something when I was young. My father needs to take me to court to remove the surname. That's how the home I was raised. And so whenever I see myself out of my house or out of home, even in university, I jealously guide that surname. And that's not a problem for me. I've been staying in Midland for more than 9 years. And inside Midland, that's 4 community, I've stayed in more than 4 estates. Once I start hearing a language that have anything to do with Nigerian, I get 4 5, I have to vacate the city. I'll vacate this. I'm telling you. Yeah. And the reason is not far-fetched. In 2017, I have office in Sunnyside. All my friends doesn't come to visit. I have to drive to Plate House. And I will ask them why. It says Sunnyside is full of religion. Why do you have office? Okay. After I spent like 6 months there, I don't know who is who. I just took office and I'm running my business. So after like 6 months, I realized that whenever I close office, I want to go home. I'll see a lot of police parking in front of my office. Then I will need to run back. If at all I know that they're chasing me, but I will need to run. At a point in time, I asked city property, but the property belongs to city property. Can I get another office that I want to use that? Because I don't want to be involved, but I can't explain. And unfortunately for me, I won't lie to anyone here. Most people that terrorize that area are Nigerians. There's no other nationalities. They are all Nigerians. I have to go to city property that I'll go and report at the Swansea police station. And they told me that if I dare do that, I will die within 4 days. They will kill me. These are Nigerians. So to me, last meeting I was there, the last first meeting I was there, but the reason why is, if you ask me why I really want a country that I'll be proud of, I'll say yes, I want a country that I'll be proud of. If you ask me a country that, do I want to belong to a country whereby I will not care about somebody's tribal, language, color, whatever, I will say yes, I want it. But how can we achieve this? Unless we are different. How can we have this done? It's when we can both climb among us. Let's forget about what the only solution that we need as a Nigerian community, any area we find ourselves. That's why I started that. In my own community, Yoruba language, it's only two eyes that keep to each other. But it's a community that raise up each other. In as much we want community to raise Nigerians in anywhere we have to fish out people that are messing up. That is only the foundation, that's the root, that's the beginning of everything. As I'm talking to you now, I don't have a single client that's in Nigeria. If you will tell me that I'll pick the race, I don't need your money. Because you can even give me that money and the money put me in trouble. So the first thing, if you ask me, the first thing or solution I think we need to start trying to do is to clean the mess, because everybody is in mess. Everybody wants to change that passport.
Not everybody.
I'm sorry to generalize, but I know I have an uncle who works in Chevron. I know what he passed through. Whenever, as a Chevron person, I know what he passed through whenever I go to US or wherever. Until he changed the passport to diplomatic passport. That's why he's free. That's why I know what I'm saying, but I'm sorry to generalize. Until we start pushing out that are disturbing that agenda we are talking about. Because when you have a friend and you are staying with a friend that's selling drugs, but you are afraid to say anything. You understand what I'm saying? When you have a friend that is using computer to scam people, and you don't want to say it, that's the problem. That's what is causing problem for us. And that's the root until we have association like what we are trying to do now, that we can know how to fish out people that are messing up the name. It's a beautiful name. I used to tell people that I'm probably Nigerian. I don't tell people I'm Nigerian. I'll tell you I'm probably Nigerian. And when you tell me that, are you sure that Nigerian? The property that I have in now, they didn't want to give me that property because the person that left the same flat is a Nigerian. And I was asking the property owner something. That's why they said this lady, this guy, married to a Salami lady. They normally fight for they decide to fight for this because they will fight that the wife will throw a TV, the husband will throw a door. And when they realize that the husband is the problem. When he drunk, he come home for everything. But I was telling them, but I can't do that. I don't drink. I drink. But I don't abuse it.
Be responsible.
You understand? Now I'm 2 years in the same flat, and they are telling me, will I buy the property? Because I show them that not all Nigerians are the same. So the major thing I want us to do is first of all fish out crime. What is giving us most of us is crime. That's the only thing that they talk about Nigeria. Not that we have genius doctor, genius accountant, genius lawyer, but the bad ones are very small. But those are the ones that pronounce mostly anywhere in the world. So until we create a community that will have serenity and we will be able to say that this guy is doing what is not okay, and we fish the person out. That's when I think Nigeria will start maintaining the day we are trying to give to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so good. Remember, this is a family meeting and it's a town hall meeting. And I said in the beginning, you are not wrong, you are not right in this meeting. And you are free to just say it as you feel. Say it, nobody's going to judge you. Nobody will judge you, but that's how you feel. And I also remember that in our last meeting, somebody mentioned that we should not hide the criminals. There are not many. Unfortunately, that's just life. Nobody celebrates good things. We only look at the bad one and we shine light on that and we generalize, which is not fair. It's not fair to generalize. And you are not also alone, but you don't want to do anything with Nigeria. I've been a victim also. I trusted a Nigerian who scammed me. He scammed me big time, 300,000 gone. That's in Nigeria. And he's gone with it. I don't know, certain miracle happens that we never get that money. So I'm in Nigeria, but I still say I'm a proud Nigerian. And if I have something to do that will benefit the next Nigeria, my brother, I still do it. I still do it. Like you have said, not all Nigerians are the same. We just have to pray for God to guide us so that we don't fall into the hands of the few bad ones. And he also said something that's very profound. We should fish out the criminals. Unfortunately, in life also, we celebrate those who bring money. And these guys are ready to bring the money. So once they can throw the money in the air, the money flies everywhere, we don't care how they make the money. Unfortunately so. If you have a function and sit at the corner, nobody will praise me. Unless I come out and I dance and I spray all the money, then they begin to say, that's not very your fine careful. There and from there, and they give me all the nice calculate. Because I'm spraying the money. So we should not worship money. As Nigerians, we should not worship money. So we don't pick. We have identified 4 things so far, or 5. Leadership. We have also been told that we shouldn't place emphasis on ethnicity. And somebody said we should celebrate excellency. Another one said we should report crime and should not celebrate those crime. Does anybody know how else we can achieve a stronger force as Nigerians in diaspora? Who has something different from this 4? Yes. Something different from this 4, because everywhere we go, we talk of leadership, we have heard that. It's something else. Thank you.
Greatest Nigerians. Greatest Nigeria. Are there Nigerians in the house? Yes. Greatest Nigeria. Correct.
My name is Doris Chiwanwa Ikechukwu. Privileged to be the President General of the Nigerian Union South Africa. First union ever. And I'm proud to say that Lusa has done something great by giving a female such opportunity. I'm a businesswoman and I just try psychologist. I'm a mother of 4, privileged, and I was married to my beloved Olushoma Shola. So I'm a typical Nigerian. I wouldn't like to repeat what has been said because a lot of points have been raised and they'll make a whole lot of sense. So speaking holistically, I would like to say that our major problem stems from type of leadership. Leadership is very essential and pivotal to growth and development. The type of leadership that is being emulated determines the kind of followership that you get. For instance, if you are a servant leadership, most times people will have at the helm of affairs believe they are the boss. So I'm the president, therefore I call the shots. Definitely, you will stumble because the tree has never been forest. So if you are a servant leadership, you must understand that the people have placed you to and so the people determines how you are there to project the interests and the concerns of the people. Unfortunately, Nigeria has failed in that aspect. So we are facing the same problem in diaspora. Change starts from you and I. If you want a positive change, you need to be that change. It must start from you. You are the first model of the children. Before the children step out there from cradle, they see you, they hear, and they emulate whatever you do. Oftentimes, when people step out, they always make reference to the kind of training they have received, and it reflects on how they lead people out there. So, unfortunately, people love power. The tussle, the struggle for power is what has led so many people astray and has made them to miss the vision. If you are passionate about something and your interest is to make impact on the sands of time, you care less about benefits because you want to leave the memory that will linger even beyond you. I stand before you today because apart from my parents, my husband made a very big part on the person I am today. He always be more in me and always proud to showcase me out there. I only display what he tells. So when you want to drive a car, it might look beautiful out there, but without an engine, it can never. He was the engine, and so determines how fast I move. I don't want to bore you with personal stories, but I just want to give a suggestion. I want to acknowledge and appreciate the organizers of this event for the initiative. This is something that has been burning me because unity is very essential for you to be able to achieve and make progress. If you look, for instance, in the Pakistani community, you see unity. When you touch one, you touch one. They show up. So we need that kind of force in the Nigerian community. We are blessed with the numbers. We are blessed with talented individuals, skilled and unskilled and semi-skilled individuals who have excelled globally. All we need is synergy. All we need is motivation. When you see someone doing what you like or what is good, motivate, support, encourage, rather than duplicate it, rather than trying to outdo one another. So when you see that, I love to compliment people, especially fellow ladies. When I see you look beautiful, I compliment you because I make you feel good, and hence it always comes back because you give what comes back to you. It's a reflection. when a light is flashed, it comes back to you. So when you pass positive comments, it comes back to you. And don't be surprised, you're just created an impression that will open doors that you don't expect on another day. So in this community, the Nigerian community, we see that many organizations have been duplicating exactly the same constitution, exactly the same positions, fighting the same cause. We need to collapse this. These walls that we have built. Let us see beyond the position that you want to occupy. It is not a paid position. Being the president of the union does not put money in my account. But the passion is that you are able to make impact. You are able to touch a life out there on the street. Because of you, someone is being saved. So when you know that you are out there to make an impact, to make a difference, to make an opportunity for a child who would have never gone to school to have an opportunity to get scholarship because of information or because God has endowed you with resources, you decide to pay the fees of an orphan, of a fatherless child, then you know you are making impact. So at the end of the day, my dear brothers and sisters here, what I want you to take home with is, what is it I want to do that will put a smile on the next person's face? I rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Gloves. You said something here about the Pakistanis fighting one another. It's not just the Pakistani, it's every other nationality but Nigeria. It's only Nigeria. So it's only Nigerian that will see a write-up about another Nigerian and forward it to his group. He forward it to all his friends. These are not positive things. He forwards them, see what they are, and then they begin to talk, and I ask, and do these Nigerians even have blood running in their system? Do these Nigerians even think? And what you are forwarding, you have no idea, you have no detail, you haven't even researched what you are reading. Unless you just forward it to your all the other parent group, all the group, all the other forum group and everything. And I start wondering, it hurts me. It hurts me. Stop it, Nigerians, please. Stop it. Be your brother's keeper. Be a human being for starters. Be a human being, because at the end of the day, we all have one thing in common. We die the same way. Am I correct? The spirit lives and the body becomes small. And when you put a Pakistani or a Taliban man and Igbo dead man side by side, what remains is small. Maybe I'm speaking as if I just came from a funeral where I saw a friend, my best friend, who we played and laughed together, line and stuff like good. I couldn't talk to her. People were just coming upside down. And you are here lifting your shoulder and destroying your next brother. Nigerians, can we try and be our brothers' keepers? Be a human being. Stop spreading news that you know nothing about. Be the Pakistan here. All other nationalities that we are saying, they stay together. They fight together, they protect one another. You see Kit Kat, doesn't belong to one person. Am I correct? It doesn't belong to one person. Group of guys that when you see their cars, but my daughter will say, "Hey, mommy, look at this." And every day they change different cars. Different human beings, they are not the same mother, not the same father. But they are able to come together and form a big business like the Kit Kat you and I go to shop. They don't manufacture anything there today. No. You and I manufacture something and we give them to sell for us. They just drop and stay together as one. But you see Nigeria and doing business together. I tried to get into business with the Nigerians. It's come here on 300,000. Please be a human being, not a Nigerian. That's what Nigerian spies we have to correct. We must correct that thing that once you see a Nigerian, you see fraud. Once you see a Nigerian, you see a thief. You see a Nigerian, hey, this person is corrupt. We must change it as human beings. I'm sorry I'm being emotional and I'm being personal because my fingers have been beating personally. Please, who wants to say something about what you can do to achieve a strong force as Nigerians in diaspora? You raised up your hand before, I'm coming to you now. Come, come speak. I'm still coming, Choma. They've said your mind. Okay, thank you very much, because that tells me when you ask the husband to speak, and they say, okay, let the wife speak, or the wife finish speaking, speaking. So the husband speaking. I said, "Oh, my wife has said it all." So that after she finished, to be with the other. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mercy, and I am Nigerian. When I first heard about Nigerian spice, my confession, I thought just spice like told me, I said that you guys are all the spice in Nigeria. Only when I sat here and I saw the invitation and I went because I was just having the invitation and then I got on the side. But anyways, as I sat here and I hear everyone, I read through the invitation I saw and I said, I need to say a word. Something that I haven't been to any of the meetings along with one, two, and what I did pick up as a weakness for us as Nigerians, we do not give chances to people that are down there. I want to quote someone that said, the doctor and also a pastor, that I heard say something. I was not happy and I feel I should stay here. And he said he was happy in the community where we were on family meeting, like people, that he's happy that they are not they are professionals or well-educated people and not a bunch of market. Now, if in that position you can look down on market, not knowing why they are market, then it means we are something. Because those market people might be
No, nothing just came up. I
so I ask God to encourage us to be wherever we find ourselves, it doesn't matter your level of education, it doesn't matter your level of position in society. We shouldn't look down on other people or on their qualifications or their position, because these same people carry something inside of them that can contribute to the building of our nation.
and if you see guys, it's
So like,
thank you.
brother, help me.
Thank you very
Tonight is a big night. Tonight is special because we have our fathers in our midst. It's not like the last time that we like children seated on their parents were not around. And tonight we not just have the consulate general in our midst, we also have the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Alhaji Sanusi himself. Well, I will give the microphone to Thank you so much, sir. We are privileged to have you, and we are happy you are in our midst. Thank you so much. Tonight, sir, we are gathered as Nigerians. It's the occasion of the night that we call the Nigerian Spice. I'll just give you a quick rundown of what it's all about and why we are here. So we realize that the Nigerian image is being battered everywhere, not just back home. When you hear Nigeria, you hear talk. When you hear Nigeria, you hear corruption. When you hear Nigeria, it's like there are seeing things around with it all wrong. So we decided that we must change narrative. We decided that we have become our own historian to tell our story by ourselves. We must change the way the world look at us by telling ourselves the truth, sir. And I'm glad you are here to help us at the same message home to say we have Nigerians in South Africa who are tired of this narrative. So we are here, we call this meeting town hall. That means everyone is free to speak their minds. So tonight you might hear things that may appear unpalatable. You might hear things that seem to want to cut off some toes. We are ready to cut off toes because we must fix Nigeria. And we are not going to leave the fixing to just the leaders in Nigeria. We believe that if they listen to us as those of us outside Nigeria, and whatever point that we have, if you listen to us back home, we will try in our own way to fix the image of Nigeria, to correct some wrong impression. So I seated in this audience with our professors. We have doctors and businessmen and women who are doing very well. It's not everyone outside Nigeria that is stealing, that is doing drugs, like they call us. You see a Nigerian, they say, I must be doing drugs. You see a Nigerian driving a nice car, you didn't get it by merit. You probably stole from people to get it. That is not true, sir. And that is why we are gathered tonight, number one, to acknowledge that Nigerians are seen in the wrong, we have wrong perception of first of ourselves and what people think about us. And we are also here to tell ourselves the truth. We are here, sir, to find to find ways to get out of this small box that we have been put. A nation as large as Nigeria, over 200 billion, you won't look at us so small. Why? Because we have few bad eggs that are giving us bad eggs. That's why we are here tonight, sir. So it's a free for us talk. Everyone is free to say what they have to say. And we are hoping, sir, that you'll be able to also talk to us. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Please, I've just been told how to do the proper addressing. Please forgive me. For those of us who have left Nigeria for so long, we have become spoiled in Western culture. So, to address the father in our midst tonight is His Excellency Khalifa Muhammad Sanusi II, the 14th Emir of Kano. That is the personality. You are welcome. In my culture, we go like, you are welcome. His Highness, not Excellency, Highness. His Royal Highness, thank you very much. So we continue our discussion tonight. And Your Excellency, sir, I speak to you. We've been saying so many things behind you. I'm hoping that maybe I don't want to drag us backwards because of our time. I don't want to keep His Royal Highness seated for too long. Sorry? No bad things. Like I said, we are addressing the problems and we are trying to provide solutions. Hopefully, you get where we could be in the community when it's ready. So we move forward. Who else has something to say? I think somebody has been raising hand. You are to give somebody a chance to talk about that. Yeah, okay, see. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Oluwatosin Chaba. I have been living in South Africa pretty much most of my life. So I basically grew up here. I call myself a Pan-African because I identify as full-blooded Nigerian as well as a South African. So to some extent, I believe I have perspective, one of the new generation of Nigerians that I can share. So there were quite a few points I will mention regarding fraud and the general scams going on Nigeria. And what came to my mind was family. I mean, when you look at the root of Nigerians, we are such a very very welcoming, we love community, like engaging, we love ourselves. And we can both agree that Nigerians are one of the most intelligent Africans in the entire world. I mean, we have doctors, we have prominent leaders in society all around the world. And when I thought about family, I thought about so many things that kind of contribute to it. When a young boy of 19 or 20 comes home with a brand new car, and the family doesn't ask where you get the car, especially when you know that the child is not working. And everybody salutes, oh my God, you bought a car. We are not addressing the real issues of questioning and saying, where did you get this car? And the same way a politician, not stepping on anybody's toes, would, get into power, we cannot hold our leaders accountable. I feel like it's a backlash against what we call democracy. Because we have people and we have young Nigerians all over the world who travel to different parts of the world studying and getting different levels of education. And when I think about why many Nigerians are in the diaspora, I feel like it's very sad that a lot of Nigerians cannot go back home and apply whatever resources and intelligence required in different parts of the world. We have leaders that have been in power for such a long time. And my question was, when I think about general position, or I think about then, are we leaving space for generations that are coming behind people that have been taught so long? What is that space? What is the avenue that we young generations come into power and implement whatever that they have studied for so long? And especially when it comes to fresh perspective. We have different parts of law, we look at the world, from the Western world, Europe to America to Africa. And we have so many richness when it comes to just perspective. And I just think about how beautiful would Nigeria be if we can just come together and implement it in a sustainable manner. And I mean, with these few points of mine, I hope I am able to just enlighten you and to bring your mind, towards something that you've probably forgotten, especially when it comes to encouraging certain behaviors amongst ourselves. I mean, there was a man who was speaking about how he doesn't like to say things up for Nigerians. I mean, it's quite sad. I have one of my best friends is Igbo, and when you mention Igbo, the tribalism comes like, but I'm like, hey, I'm young. I want to interact with my mates, I want to interact with anyone, young or old. So I also feel like when we talk about family, what are we teaching our children? What are we telling them about other cultures? Are we encouraging, the Nigerian, the beauty, or are we just dismantling it by saying, oh, people are Yoruba? Because I feel like those things add on little by little towards cultivating Nigerian culture and identity. I will not give my round of applause. I know is started. I say, please let this audience be vibrant. Let's not make it boring. When someone is making a good point, please encourage that person. If I hear you work to family values, I think where a lot of us have missed as Nigerians is we've lost family values. I'm not 60 yet, but I remember growing up that there are so many things that I learned from my grandmother that raised me, and I can't find them today. I can't find them anymore. When you see some behaviors, you ask yourself, from which home were you raised? Didn't you have elders that taught you everything? So what she's saying is, let's go back to the basics. Yeah. Let's go back to the basics. Every one of us said here. I am sure that even if you are less than 50, nobody is less than 15 here.
Somewhere along the line, you may have been told something. Can we try and build on the good things that we have learned from our elders and not put too much premium on riches? I think what is wrong with the world of today is celebrating riches. We're no longer celebrating values. We're no longer celebrating excellence. We want to celebrate riches. It brings me back to a certain young boy that stayed with me and after him on behalf of his parents who were here on earth. He said to me, look, auntie, I just want to be rich. My dad is rich. My father is rich. I don't care what he does. And I see what he does with money. I just want to be rich. Can you see value? He doesn't want to know what his father is doing to get money. He just wants to be as rich as his father. Can we try and raise our children and put too much premium on money and physical riches? Let's look at the inward person. Let's look at the inside person. I'm also guilty, my friend, who said he doesn't do this with Nigerians. Maybe in my own small way, I'm guilty. I remember we had a tenant. He was a Nigerian. It ended bad. This guy didn't want to pay rent after all the house belongs to Nigeria. He refused to pay rent. We started pursuing pay rent to pay rent. We managed to remove it and we swore that we would never get Nigeria to that house again. So the agent called and said somebody is here. He says in Nigeria, he can send his passport. I said to my husband, now I want, don't go there. It's unfortunate that we put ourselves in that position that even amongst ourselves, we don't even want to accommodate us. We are out to change that narrative. We are out to change it. So before we break for supper, I think I'm just going to point out some things that we have said. We've established one thing, and some of us have experienced it personally. That stigmatization of being a Nigerian here in South. I'm the mother of 4 children who all grew up here in this country. But right now, my home that used to be so noisy because of 4 children growing up is quiet because they all gone overseas to school. My kids are in America. The last one just finished writing matric, and he's playing tickets, he's waiting because he's also going to America. And the reason is because of that stigmatization. They actually did not enjoy growing up here because of that stigmatization. And as somebody has pointed out in the course of discussion tonight, is the main thing is the crime. And it's not only overt crime, it's subtle crime, misbehavior. Misbehavior, just like my sister has pointed out here. How can you rent a place and you refuse to pay the rent? The terms and condition is that you pay the rent. But in Nigeria, we'll get into a place and misbehave. I'll give you another example. This place that we are using belongs to the Cypriot Association, the Greeks that my partner likes to call them. When they heard that it's Nigerians who are having a function, you know what the manager of the place asked me? He said, we don't keep this place open beyond 12 midnight. I said, I'm aware. That's what I asked you the first time. How long can you stay? He said, please, don't stay beyond 12. That the last time we gave this place to Nigerians, they were fighting us because they wanted to stay 2. And it was 12 and they refused to go. Why do we do these things? Why do we misbehave? Why do we think we can flout the rules and that it's okay? These are some of the things that we need to start speaking to ourselves and calling each other out when we find people that do it. Because when we call each other out, someone will say, your own too much. Your own too much.
Let us now be those people whose own is too much. If we are in the majority whose own is too much, I think people will start to know how to. But you know what? We have our Father in our midst tonight. We are so privileged that He's here. And I would like to take advantage of the fact that we have our Father here to give us some words, to address us as Nigerian diaspora, to direct us on how to behave. Our Father, the Royal Highness,
Royal Highness, top officials of Nigerian spies, elders of the Nigerian community, organs here this evening. I know the program has been fundamentally changed because we have in our history. Not just as life in our midst, the former government. We have in our midst the former emir of Kano. We have in our midst the leader of the Nigerian Sufi Muslim sect in Africa, a sect that comprises over 60 million Africans. We have in our midst an educationist, an author, a writer, a researcher, a top intellectual. And I must confess to all my brothers and sisters here, when I got to this hotel, and I told the Excellency, I want to come here some few words with them. He said, see, I should come from my MTN board. I am tired. And I said, please, I don't want to understand. Please, you have to go back in, rest, eat with you. So today's a special night for spice. Today's a special night for and His Royal Highness is here today to speak to us about unity, about Nigeria, about us. We all come to be complete expression. We all come to be complete, blessed by God, by Allah. Nigerians are the ones who don't fight, rejoice when we bury the dead. Nigerians don't want to. Whatever we're going through today, simply going through a process of evolution. It will pass someday. And with leaders like Surah is here to guide us, to advise us, to chart a course. I assure you, we should look forward to it. I'm not sure I'm in a good position to tell you everything I should tell you about Surah. At one point, I must stress His Royal Highness has been ranked amongst the top 100 human beings. If there's anybody here who has better knowledge about His Royal Highness, I'll give you the opportunity to speak before His Royal Highness speaks. But we are honored to have that speech.
We just wish to see. You know, nobody here that can speak, that can be as oratorical, as articulate as His Royal Highness. He has that special gift. I'll just appeal to all of us to be careful with the message he has to share with us. I thank you. And thank you very much, ladies. You know, His Excellency Consul General, I know all the tricks of the diplomats. My father was a diplomat. So he promised me I'll be there for 5 minutes. And then he stands up and starts talking about oratory and eloquence, trying to compel me to give a long speech. And I'm not going to give a long speech. As His Excellency has explained, I didn't have this in my program. I spent the whole week actually in meetings. And just as I returned to my hotel and relaxed, he said he was going to see me. And then he came and said there were Nigerians who were waiting to meet him. And anyway, I'm pleased to be with you. I'm pleased to share a few moments with you. Look, it's important what you're doing, which is having an honest conversation of yourselves. Because very often people don't realize that when you are in denial, then you will never find a solution to your problem. You don't go around blaming everyone else. They don't like us, they hate us because of all of our skins, because of our passport. It is true, there are people who don't like you because of your skin, they don't like you because of your passport. But you must also be honest and accept if there are things that you have done which have placed you in this situation. We're not the only black people in the world. Yes, we are the largest population of black people. And I think it's important to have perspective. I keep telling people that we are a nation of 200 million. The African population is 1.2 billion. So 1 out of 6 Africans is Nigerian. It's true, if you find a simple law of statistics, simple law of probability, if a crime is committed anywhere in the world, there is a 1 out of 6 probability that it could not be a Nigerian. That's a lot. But at the same time, if you find a doctor in America, or an engineer in America, or a computer scientist, or a space engineer, there is a 1 out of 6 chance that it will be a Nigerian. Which is why you have more Nigerian medical doctors in America, in the United States, than any other nationality. But people talk about the criminals, they talk about the doctors they have. They talk about the professors, they talk about the engineers. Because bad news travels fast. And this is the reality of human nature. And most people forget that it is the exception that often becomes the rule. I always give an example to my children. See, when you come out as a leader, everybody's cheering you, there are hundreds of faces, you don't recognize the faces, you just see a mass of people. If just one person, you know, we do this to abuse. If just one person were to do this, you would see his face. You would remember his face, you would recognize him.
It is human nature. If you have 100 honest Nigerians, people don't notice because they expect people to be honest anyway. Okay? One criminal, that's what you notice, and that's what you notice. So it's important to think that we get away from this idea of there are a few bad eggs. No, no, no. One bad egg is one bad egg too many. So that's the first point I think we need to bear in mind. So there's not like a minority that compares to your reputation. If you have 10 children and one of them becomes an armed robber, it doesn't matter what the other name. You know that everyone will be talking to you about you as the father of an armed robber. If you like, let the others be policemen catching armed robbers, let them be judges, let them be lawyers, let them be and that one armed robber is the one that defines you. And it's true of the whole country. So we get painted by this brush, and it's not a brush. That's the first thing. The second thing is, we do say charity begins at home as a problem, but it is also the reality is no matter what ordinary Nigerians do, what we do as leaders has a greater impact on the image of the country. And we therefore have to be members of civil society that tries to call political society to order. If you have a democracy, you have free and fair elections, you have good governance, that alone goes a long way in improving the image of the country. If the news coming out of the country is always bad about political thugs breaking ballot papers, about senior politicians taking bribes and being appointed to public office, it gives the impression that this is a country where everything goes. Yesterday, I was speaking to someone who used to be president of the association on the of corruption sharing. And he said, a few years ago, I was at an international conference in Dubai presenting a paper. And the chairman of the panel was a former Lord Justice in the United Kingdom. And in conversation, I told him that there are subjects. There was a case, I think, of Supreme Court of Judges in Nigeria to give bribes, corruption, institution. And he almost passed out. He said, look, maybe this happened in the 19th century or in the UK, but it is just inconceivable. You can't even imagine that anyone in the UK would even think about bribing a judge. Okay? And even here in South Africa, with the state capture, with everything that has happened, you still have a judiciary that's been jailed a former president. This is Africa. Now, if the judiciary, which is supposed to be the last bastion of the human man, where you're supposed to have the highest levels of integrity and corruptibility, if it allows itself to be so damaged, what happens to all other institutions? So we have to take an interest in our hands at home, and we have to raise our voice against that, because at the end of the day, you're outside, but you also have to say, look, you people back home, please stop doing this. You're making life difficult for us here. Because, of course, when we come out, now we can talk about it as Nigerians. If I go out and some South African tells me Nigerians are corrupt, tell me it's a lie. I'll say it's not true. We have to defend our country. But the reality is, among ourselves, we have seen this, and we're in the age of social media. There's nothing that is a secret. So that's my second point, that what happens at home, what the leaders do, and when I say leaders, I count myself as the leaders, as a governor of Central Bank, as a mayor, as a leader, I count myself as what we do has an impact on the image of the country, perhaps far, far more than what one person, one governor, one minister, one emir can do more damage to our reputation than 100,000 people. Okay, so it's important that those who we take to leadership, and then we start asking ourselves, how do we select our leaders? What is the qualification? What kind of system have we set for ourselves? And I'll tell you a story. I have these stories in my life that give an insight into how things go. So when I was in the central bank, the human resources department came up with, they said they didn't have minimum qualifications for employment as drivers in the central bank. And they said minimum is that a driver should have attended secondary school. Okay, just sure secondary school. And in the meeting, I said, well, why just attend? Why can't we ask for at least 2 credits or credit in English? And I was furious. I was going on, no, we must have 1 or 2 credits. You can't just say attend secondary school. One of my deputy governors laughed. Said, Governor, said this qualification is what you need to be the president of Nigeria. I'm telling you, the qualification to be president of Nigeria is the qualification written in the central bank, the qualification you need to be a driver in the central bank. Anybody who has gone through secondary school, with or without credit, whether or not he studied, whether he was F9 throughout, so long as he shows paper that he went through secondary school, can contest for president, for governor, for senator, for house reps. When you already set your standards so low, the bar is so low, what quality are you likely to get? Let's ask ourselves. The economy, people complain of the cost of governance. So much of the money that goes to Nigeria is spent on public servants, it is true. But we have a constitution that says you have a president and a vice president, you have 36 governors and 36 deputy governors, you have 36 houses of assembly, you have 774 local governments with the chairman, vice chairman, and 10 councillors and a secretary. By law, the president must appoint at least a minister from every state of the federation. And you say whether or not we need 37 ministers, we must have 37 ministers. Do the arithmetic. Each of these people will have an SK, a special assistant, personal assistant, official car, driver, security, accommodation. Is there any surprise that the Nigerian embassy in South Africa is not getting money? I mean, look, it's simple arithmetic. And we keep that constitution. Every 4 years, we go and elect people to fill those offices. Every time you have National Assembly, they order Jeep. And that car, they will have the same car. Doesn't matter whether you've had a devaluation and an increase in price, and the price is now triple what it was, that car that my predecessor had, I must have. 360 members of the House of Representatives, 109 senators. They need chiefs to do their work. Why did you contest election? You applied for the job. And suddenly you now tell, I need it. If you knew you didn't have a car to do the work, why apply for it? Why can't we have a unicameral legislature? Why do we need a bicameral legislature? Why do we need 7? Why can't we just have the states and have a ministry of local government? Why do we need 774 local governments? And we have elections for those local governments. And we're surprised that we don't have money invested in education. We don't have money invested in healthcare. And if for 10 years, 20 years, you've not invested in primary education and secondary education, then you're looking at your youth who are teenagers and you're shocked that there are thugs when you did not educate them. Because every time we are thinking of the next election, we're not thinking of the next generation. And something else. I'm still talking about structures, about structural problems that we're not talking about. All this noise about Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, it misses the point. And I've always said it that for me personally, I'll be the first person to go to war to divide Nigeria. Because I don't even know which box I go to go. Seriously. Yes, my parents are from Kano, and they're Muslim, and I'm Muslim, yes. So when I was 8 years old, I went to Catholic school, boarding school, primary education. So all those sisters and reverend fathers who brought me up and who took care of me and who loved me, I now go and fight them because they are Catholics. Then I went to King's College and all my friends that I met. Right now, I'm living in Lagos, in a house provided for me by my friend who's a Christian from Abia. So, who am I fighting? Who am I fighting? My daughter is getting married next year to a Yoruba boy from Par. So, at the end of the day, we don't realize the value of being in a country of 200 million and all the opportunities that it provides. And when we start dividing, how are you going to divide? When all these groups, when we talk about nationalities, we don't even know our history. All these ethnicities, I would say ethnicities, the ethnicities themselves were constructed recently. What is Niger Delta? People say I'm from the Niger Delta. No, seriously. In our lifetime, Ijaw were killing Isheki, Ogoni. Ife and Amadakeke. This one in Anambra, Umuleri and what is ethnicity? Before the jihad of Uthman Affodiyo, Kano was at war with Katsina, Katsina was at war with Zaria, Zaria was at war with Kobil. They did not call themselves Hausa. They were Kanawa, Kasinawa, Zazagawa. It was constructed by the jihad. After the jihad, British came, they put together all sorts of cities called Northern Nigeria. Then we now became Northerns. They say Yoruba. Before the British came, just Egypt, Ondo, Akoko, Ekiti. At war with each other. Even when I was in King's College, somebody nice one said Ijebu. They would say you. They say Yoruba, but say Yoruba. So we just, I mean, if you talk about this is for history, that's fine. But if you say you want to divide Nigeria, how do you divide Nigeria? Into what groups and into how many nations? I tell you, give the Niger Delta the country and come back and look at Sudan. I was in Sudan for 40 years. Southern Sudan fought and fought and fought and fought. They broke away. When they broke away, they started fighting themselves. The North now is fighting. So now in Khartoum, they're fighting Arabs and Arabs. Once you get into this sense that the way to fix a nation is to destroy it, you'll keep destroying. So that's my third point. A final point is, someone spoke about values. And this is, I think, the most essential thing for all of us as human beings. If you don't have a set of values that you hold on to, and that's the yardstick by which you judge other human beings, you judge yourself with other human beings, then you're in trouble. Many people don't make, I keep saying, they don't make a distinction between what they are and who they are. See, we're all Muslims and Christians. And in our faith, we believe that what you are, you have no control. You can try. Please, what role did you play in becoming a Hausa people? What role did you play? Did you ask God before your father met your mother that you want to be Igbo or you want to be Hausa? You just found yourself. And you may have born into a wealthy family that gave you an education. While somebody else was born to a poor family that was not educated. What role did you play in being born into that family? What was your achievement? What was your contribution? Nothing. But we also believe as Muslims and Christians that even what we achieve in life, much as we achieve to ourselves, is beyond our control. You take two people with the same level of education, doing the same thing, one succeeds, one fails. How do you explain it? Give two of your children the same amount of capital, put them in the same business, one is rich, one is poor. How do you explain it? But we define ourselves by what we are. I'm Hausa, yes. I'm Fulani, I'm Igbo, yes. Yes. Or I'm the owner of that big house. I own that car. I have so much money in my account. That is all what you are, not who you are. If you steal money and you're a multi-billionaire, what you are is a multi-billionaire. Who you are, a thief. That's who you are. You are a thief, or a liar, or a drug dealer, or a murderer, or an armed robber. That is who you are. Now, if you don't know that difference, that is number one. You have not started living life. Because you do not have a standard by which you judge yourself. Where if you say you want to be an honest person, and that's what you want, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, you're an honest man. And you bring up your children that the value that matters is honesty or generosity or kindness of spirit or care for the poor, a caring person, respectful person, decency. Those are what defines who you are. And if you begin to define yourself by those values, now when I see you, what interests me is, are you honest? Are you decent? Are you generous? I'm not interested whether you are Hausa or Yoruba, or a Hausa thief or an Igbo thief or a Yoruba thief. You are all thieves. And but because we have focused on what we are, we lose that. So that's why we've lost the values. That's why we've lost the values. When your children begin to even forget that they're children and they're thinking, my father is I'm the son of XXX. And you don't begin to knock their heads and say you are nothing. Go to school first. The Arabs are saying, they say, Laysa fata kana kana abi. Inna fata man kana ha. That they say a real son is not one who says my father was XXX. A true son is he who says I am XXX. When I was in Form 3, King's College, my father became the permanent secretary, so I said this. And one day he said to me, my father is an Indian, but I don't go around saying I'm the son of Indian. When I stand, I say I am Ambassador Muhammad permanent secretary. And maybe some people will be saying, pointing to my father and using reference to me. The worst thing you can do to yourself is go through life and everybody's pointing and saying that is Ambassador Sanusi's son. You have to make sure that people point to you and say that is Lami Sanusi, that is what it is. Now you have politicians who came out of nowhere, political thugs, they become governors, they become ministers, and their children who basically running over people all over the country, going all over the world, flying first class, misbehaving. Still in first class. Who are you? My father is. Who are you? His father. And that first class ticket is not his father's money, which is government money that the father took, put him on first class. Those are the values that we have lost. But what each of you needs to ask himself or herself, in the depth of your heart, and shining a light on your conscience, do I know who I am? Have I told my children who I am? Or do I just know what I am? Until we all do that, we will not fix Nigeria.
No. Sorry. Yes. Sugar. Sorry.
ìyá tó pẹ̀lú lápútọ̀ sàmìtì ẹ̀yìn gbogbo ẹ̀ fídíò gbé yé.